Hi guys, Jordan from B&P Campers. I'm just going to be doing a handover video on this Mclouis, and it's a 432 model. So we're based on the 54 plate Fiat Ducato chassis, and it is weighted at 3.5 ton, so you can drive it on any car license. The paint code for this particular model is Fiat 249, as it says in there, and that is basically just the white colour that runs throughout the entire vehicle. So under the bonnet, we've got your engine battery over here on the left. This is just the solar cable, so just in case you ever wondered what that was. You've then got your power steering fluid, brake fluid, and engine oil. The engine oil dipstick is the red capped one down here. Over towards the right, we've got the engine coolant, air filter, and washer fluid reservoir down here. And that is about it for under the bonnet, really. The diesel filling point on these is really simple. Literally just push that little handle there and it will open up this little cover to allow you access to the diesel filling point. Inside the passenger door, not much to run through. The leisure battery sits underneath the driver's seat, and when I get round to the other side, I will just run you through the cab as well. So the first thing we get to on the near side here is the freshwater filling point. So push in and round to the left in order to release that. When you want to lock it up, in and round to the right, and then put your key in here and twist it whichever way it will go. So that's where you fill up your fresh water. Next thing we get to is this vent just here. So this is the vent for your boiler. So if you have got the boiler lit up on gas, you should be able to feel hot air coming out through either side of this. Gas locker. So you have got space in here for 2 of these 6 kilo propane bottles if you wanted them. So to turn the bottle on, go anti-clockwise around to the left, and then clockwise around to the right all the way down. We'll turn the bottle off. All of this stuff over on the right hand side is all just for our testing purposes. Just put that cap back on. So you haven't got to do anything with that. All you need to do really is replace or just undo this nut just here and put it onto a new bottle when you run out of gas. So towards the back of the van, we've got the toilet cassette locker over on the left hand side here. So the actual toilet cassette comes out really easily. Literally lift up on the little tab just here and the cassette will come all the way out. From that point, you drain it out from here. Whilst you're draining it out, you should be holding down the little yellow button and put a little bit of blue fluid back inside here before you put it back away. So you've also got the ladder to go up to the roof, nice and solid there for that, so you can climb up that if you need to. The bike rack just here at the back as well, it's a 2-bike rack. The electric hookup goes in up here, so if you do have access to a hookup cable, that will plug in just there underneath this rear window. Underneath the back, you've also got your wastewater drain off point, which is just there. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So basically you've got a handle, as you can see, and a cap to cover it up. So all you need to do is take the cap off underneath and pull the handle, and all the wastewater that's gone down your sinks will come out from there. These 2 vents just here on the offside rear, they're basically just both to do with the fridge. So if you have got the fridge lit up on gas, you will feel warm air coming out through this top right hand side of this top vent, and that will just basically prove to you that it's definitely working. There we go. So carrying on to the offside, we've obviously got the wind out awning across the top and window up there, which is in the overcab bed area. We've also got this really nice good sized storage locker under here. You've got a secondary leisure battery, so I'll just quickly explain. So this is just basically a second leisure battery that's being used in line, so it just gives you sort of extra power from the leisure side. But I have wired up the solar panel cable to the main leisure battery, or the original one, which is underneath the driver's seat, just so you know. all the original carpets and just a couple of bits and pieces that previous owners left. You've got some levelling chocks over there at the back, which are really handy. But yeah, there you go. So cab, just quickly run you through that. So in the cab itself, we've got a couple of nice things. So we've got the reversing camera screen just here to the right of the steering wheel, so it's not sort of, you know, in your way or anything like that. It's just there nice and easy in your eye line. 5-speed manual gearbox. All of your heater settings just down here. So you've got fan speed, the heater temperature, and where the actual fan blows the air to. You've got your hazard warning lights from here. Fog lamp. Got a single DIN Sony head unit up there. It's got aux, CD player, radio, all the sort of normal stuff like that. If I just pull back a little bit. So you've got just here, this is your steering column adjustment, and to the left of that is your bonnet release handle. Other than that, I think that's about it really for the cab. So just going to jump into the back end now. Sorry about all the noise, just getting a bit of noisy jet washing done. So the control panel is the first thing you're going to notice when you come into the vehicle. It's just here to your left as soon as you walk in. These control panels are unbelievably easy to use, and they're really reliable. I've never really had any problems with these. So essentially all you've got is internal lights, external lights, and water pump. All right, and really that's all you need. So when you turn the internal lights switch on, that's going to turn on the power to all of your internal lights and any 12-volt sockets that you might have. So turning that switch on just there gives you access to all of the internal lights and 12-volt. Outside light. So if you've got one, which I don't think you do, no. So basically, don't worry about that one. That would be if you had a light outside the back, the side door here. That'd be for that. Water pump. Once you've turned the water pump on, something really important to do, just to sort of, you know, make sure that you don't run into any problems. Lift up the tap on the cold side and make sure that you've got good pressure coming through, which we do. And then turn it around to the hot side. Same again, good pressure. And now I know for an absolute fact that the boiler is full of water and that we've got good pressure in the system. So literally just by doing that, quick as that, just proves to you that your boiler's full, basically. That's really important. If you try and light the boiler up, which I'll show you how to do in a minute, and the boiler isn't actually full yet, then you'll run into problems where it might overheat and stuff like that. So it's just really important to make sure the boiler's full, just literally by making sure that you've got water coming through on the hot side of the tap. So the rest of the control panel is just like level indicators and things really. So when you press and hold on this button just here, you'll see it comes up telling us the leisure battery voltage, because we've got a little caravan symbol with a light above it, full power in the leisure battery, which is because we've got that solar panel on the roof. Press it again and it's showing us the engine battery voltage. Again, it's a duo controller, so it's charging engine and leisure batteries. So we've got full power in both batteries. If we look at the other side here, this is showing us our fresh water levels. So we've got a third of a tank of fresh water. And if the waste tank was full, we'd have a little red light coming up here. If the mains hookup was plugged in, we'd have this little light here lit up, just basically telling us that the 240-volt charger is on and working. So that's the control panel. Easy as that. So down below the cooker here, I very rarely run through these cookers because it's literally just a case of push in and round to allow the gas to come through. You will need an igniter to light any of these up because they don't have any ignition. But yeah, very, very simple on that front. So down below here, we've got the fridge. This is a 3-way Dometic fridge and it works on gas, 240-volt and 12-volt, which basically means, I mean, gas is self-explanatory, but 240-volt is when you're hooked up on the mains and 12-volt is for when you're driving. All right, so the idea behind it is that the fridge gets cold only on gas or 240 volts, so gas or mains hookup. And the 12 volt function is basically just there to keep the fridge cold whilst you drive. So you have to pre-cool the fridge before you leave, basically. And once you've done that, you know, you're good to go. You can just select 12 volt, and when you get to where you're going, switch back over to one of the other two. So at the moment, we're on gas, and all I've done to get that to light up is literally just turn the little gauge there around to gas. It will light up by itself for you, and yeah, that really is it. If you're hooked up on the mains, you'll select 230 volt here, and it will light up green, and that'll basically just be telling you that it's working. Same goes for 12 volt. When you start the engine up and select 12 volt, you should get a little green symbol there in the 12 volt symbol. Right, so down here next door to the fridge, we've got some gas isolators. So basically just, if I just run you through what you got. So at the top there, you got the 3 burner hob. Second one down is going to be the oven and grill. Middle one there is going to be the boiler, heater, and then fridge. Okay, so if you wanted to isolate the gas from any of those appliances specifically, you can just basically turn them 90 degrees and it'll isolate the gas from that one appliance. A little bit of storage in there. And then you've got the pull-out drawers here as well. Right, so turning around now, I'm just going to run you through the bathrooms. It's the next thing sort of in the way. So you've got a really good sized bathroom in here. Bearing in mind it's a fairly short van, you have got a really good sized bathroom. So you've got the really good size shower compartment over here, so it's literally just hot and cold tap just there and coming out through the shower head up there. Nice and straightforward. You've got the Thetford toilet cassette, as I said, outside. I showed you how to use that outside. But basically, if you want to flush the toilet inside, you've got a blue button just here. Press the button and it pumps around your flush fluid. When you want to drain that out into the cassette, you pull this little grey handle to the right. That then drains into the cassette, and then all you got to do is pull it back. And that's it. That's how you use these Thetford toilets. Hot and cold tap for the sink. Again, super straightforward. You have got a light up here, which does this light. And then obviously your full size window there, which is like a frosted kind of material. So there you go. That's the bathroom. All the shower trays in good nick. There's no cracks or splits that I can see. It's all in really good condition. Very important thing to just point out, please be careful with these, because the reason I say there's no splits or breaks in it is because they are prone to breaking, and the thing is, it's an absolute nightmare, to be fair, to get these out and repair them. So really important, just try your best to look after these if you can. Don't go throwing stuff in here, you know, heavy stuff. It's just not worth it, because it's a big job when we have to replace them or repair them. So moving through towards the back, we've got a massive wardrobe here with, you know, a couple of bits and pieces that the previous owners left behind. This brown folder just here is going to be full of paperwork. All the paperwork that we've got with the van basically is going to be in that brown folder, or the majority of it anyway. Okay, so the heater. So this unit down here is our heater. So this is a Trumatic heater. It's obviously made by Truma. So this is an electronic ignition heater as well. So basically, to light it up, all you have to do, and by the way, this is gas only, all you have to do to light it up, you've basically got a little peephole down here, which does allow you to go through and see the little flame when it lights up. So all you have to do to light this up is turn the little gauge around here to 3 or 2 or 3. You'll then be able to hear the igniter. All you have to do from there is push this little button down. So push it down and you should see a little pilot flame spring to life, as you saw just there. A little bit difficult to see there in the video, but we'll do our best. There we go. So you can see that little pilot flame down there now. So all I'm going to do now is lift up on this and twist it round to about sort of 6 or 7. So if you watch what happens. So you saw straight away when I did that, the main flame kicked in and started burning. So all you need to do from that point there is make sure that that flame stays on. So you see it's just going out there. So all I did then was push the button back in again, still on about 6 or 7. It's just basically because that pilot flame isn't quite hot enough yet. So, you know, thermocouple inside there isn't quite hot enough. So it's not allowing the main flame to stay on. So I'm just holding it in again, allowing it to warm up a little bit more. And I'll then release the button again. Main flame's back in. And sometimes you need to do that a couple of times. I think it's going to be all right now, just the once there. And that's it. That is all you need to do. Just make sure that flame stays on like that for a couple of seconds. Well, you know, about 10 seconds or so. And that's it. So I'm just going to turn that off now by going all the way back around to 0. Make sure our flame's gone out, which it has done. And that's how you use the heater on the gas. That's how you light it up on gas. Now you've also got, on the left-hand side of this heater, you've got the fan setting. So you can pump that hot air around through the vents in the vehicle. So to do that, push this little button here to the left, and then you've got 1 to 5 for your fan speed. And that's it. So if you want to, you can use that just as a fan. Obviously, you don't have to put this heater on. So if you wanted a little bit of cool air pumping around through the little circular vents around the vehicle, you can just turn this fan on and leave it on for as long as you like. Okay, so right behind me, we've also got your oven and grill. So the oven and grill, you will need an igniter for as well, but basically you just push in and round to the right for the grill, in and round to the left for the oven. The grill is this piece just up the top here, and the oven is right down the back at the bottom. So there you go, straightforward. Load of storage underneath that as well. Right, so up here above that we've got your TV locker. So essentially this is the place that Mclouis thought that you were going to have a TV. That's the idea behind it. The reason for that is that you've got your aerial socket, a main socket and a 12-volt socket all in this one locker, and obviously you've got this slide out TV bracket. Okay, so if you wanted a TV, it sort of makes the most sense to have it in there really. Right, so the solar controller, I've put this up here. So if you haven't got to do anything with this at all, it's literally it'll just tell you the voltage that's in the battery at any one time. And if there's a little solar panel symbol there in the middle and the lines are flashing, it's just basically telling you that it's charging both batteries. So I've got battery 1 here is linked up to the Leisure, and battery 2 is linked up to the vehicle. So basically battery 1, the Leisure battery, has got a bit more prominence over the vehicle battery. But 13.7 volts in a battery where there's no charger on it, basically there's no hookup plugged in, that's just solar power, putting that power in there. A normal resting battery rate with no charging would be on about 12 to 12.2. So that is really, really, really good. Okay, so other than that, you've got your rear facing seat belts, which are just lap belts, just bear that in mind, and your proper over the shoulder forward facing seat belts there as well. Technically this is a 5-berth motorhome because you've got the single bed just here, the option of making up a double bed just here by dropping the table down half height. So to do that, all you need to do is literally fold this leg in half and it will sit down really nicely in there and make this double bed. You've then also got the double bed over the cab there as well. So this is an absolutely massive double bed. The ladder just here hooks onto these hooks just here. And yeah, that's it. So I'm just trying to make sure I've not missed anything out. I don't think I have. When you want to, get back out of the van, get ready to drive it off and all that sort of stuff, quick little checklist to sort of run through the really important stuff. So you've got obviously all of your windows. The first thing I will say is that the windows are one of the most expensive parts of the motorhome. The windows and the skylights. So let's just say, for example, if you wanted a new window, you're probably looking at about a grand for a new window. And that goes for pretty much all of them, especially these bigger ones here. Same goes for the Hecky skylight. It's at least a grand for one of these hot skylights. So when I see people driving down the motorway with these skylights up, it makes me cringe because I know how much they are. It's not a big job to replace them really, but it's the money that's unbelievable. So please be careful. Please do not drive down the road with this open. It is not worth it. I know sometimes you can think it's, you know, getting you a little bit of cool air in the back, but please don't do it because it is not worth the £1,000 bill that you would get when it flies off. So yeah, making sure that all of your windows are shut and completely closed up on the secondary lock just here is really important for whilst you're driving. You do have the option, if you're leaving the vehicle in storage or you're leaving it for a long time closed up, you do have the option on these windows to close it in the middle here. All right, so between those two hooks, you can lock it up like that. And what that does is it locks the window, so it's not going to move. You know, you cannot get into this window now, but you've got a little gap at the bottom of the window. And what that does is it stops all the condensation building up inside the vehicle and stops damp from forming inside. Unfortunately, motorhomes are made of wood and they are susceptible to getting wet. It's just one of those things. So if you can leave them open just very slightly like that on those secondary hooks, it stops the majority of that from building up. You know, so that's a really handy little tip to know, just in case you didn't know that. If not, close them all the way up like that, and that's completely locked up, sealed up against the rubber seal there. So yeah, doing that is really important. Making sure that all of your cupboard doors are completely shut, so making sure they clip over like that is really important, because I can tell you for a fact that it's really annoying when you're driving down the road and these things are sort of flapping about. Very annoying. It's sometimes worth getting sort of tea towels and non-slip mats and things like that and putting them underneath these glass things, because they will knock about. Same with the grill, that's going to be the noisiest thing. But yeah, just little things like that really. But yeah, so I think I've covered everything. I don't think I've missed anything out, but if I have, just let us know. But otherwise I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks very much.